What's up, people? It's your boy Mekz reporting for Revolution Radio Duty. I'm alongside my co-host NK.
Yo, people, what you said?
Yeah, listen, this week of Dynamite. What's your initial reactions to just the show we got in general?
Um, I like the show. I quite like the show. I thought this first half was a lot better than the second half for sure. But I thought the show was. I liked it more than last week's. To be honest, I
Okay,
liked it more than last week's. Yeah,
okay. I thought the segments of the show, like the promo stuff and that in between, far exceeded the
yeah.
wrestling on the show.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely obviously moving towards selling the pay-per-view and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought there was probably one, maybe a stretch, two good matches on this show. Everything
yeah,
else was just middle of the road or
yeah,
maybe standard in some cases. But as always, good entertainment throughout. Um, and yeah, in regards to obviously the World Championship picture, but we've kind of been following the story for the last few weeks. We've got the four way that
yeah.
MJF didn't want. Darby and Jungle Boy were successful in their attempt to join the singles match that had been previously set up. And yeah, this is what we're getting for Double or Nothing. What do you think about that, NK?
Yeah, we kind of predicted that the four-way was coming. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy of how we got there. I'm happy with the match. I've been happy with the storyline as a whole. So yeah, like it's not earth-shattering stuff, but it's like it's good television. So yeah, I'm excited for this match. It's something new, something fresh. Even though these guys have faced each other in singles competition in the past, seeing them in a four-way for the biggest prize in the company, and I think except for MJF, none of these guys have ever main evented a pay-per-view before.
Mm.
So it's a massive opportunity and a statement of intent for these young guys. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, 100. I think for me, what's just been really impressive was the kind of way they got here. Like, I think a lot of
Yeah,
us had said, you could see from a mile away, this was the destination, although they teased at times it wasn't going to be.
yeah,
But yeah, they were very smart with just taking us on a few twists and turns. I would say I would like to see a bit more of Sammy and MJF with the whole kind of stupid duo stuff they've been doing. I think it's been
yeah,
pretty entertaining, but obviously now it's been
yeah,
cut short because of the circumstances. And
yeah,
that last twist they gave us just before the match, where obviously Darby walks back into the locker room and he sees MJF talking to Jungle Boy, I thought was a really nice touch because
yeah.
it's basically, can they coexist without saying, can they coexist
They
now?
coexist. Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I thought that was a really nice touch. But yeah, it's the main event we all expected. Um, and then yeah, like I'm sure we'll get to somewhere in the show, we've got the BCC and elite stuff still bubbling along nicely. And I think
yeah,
just looking at the card kind of takes shape. Just having all the young guys, the pillars that are now going to main event, but like the stars of the entire show in the BCC and the elite have their own feud
yeah,
coming together that's going to be somewhere else
yeah,
on the card. Like, I just really
yeah,
think it's we've talked about how the next crop of guys need to start kind of stepping up in it. Like, we can't
hmm,
be relying on the elite to have AEW
yeah,
back. So I think this is like just a really kind of nice beginning of that transition.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I feel like in this paper, like in this show, like I've got maybe 5, 6 matches in mind for the pay per view. That obviously we've had one match that's clearly announced, which is the world title match. But obviously we know BCC and Elite are gonna have a match. We know Adam Cole and Jericho's probably leading to somewhere. We know Wardlow and Christian are probably going somewhere. So there's a variety of different matches that we can see. And yeah, like you said, this was like a very storyline heavy show, and I liked a lot of the segments, which is something I usually complain about with AEW. There's usually a segment that I don't like, but
Mm.
for the most part, like I think there was a lot of like memorable storyline progression in this show. So yeah, I think it was entertaining for sure.
Yeah, I really think they knocked it out the park, particularly with the segments this week. I felt
And
like, yeah,
yeah,
Go on,
I
sorry.
don't know. And I was gonna say, obviously they hired Will Washington from
Yes.
and he's partly a lot of his stuff is about long-term storyline coordination, and he's going to be working directly with TK in storylines. I don't know. And TK said he worked on this show, so I don't know. Is it too early to say we're seeing his influence a little bit? But the show just felt organized. It felt very like structured.
Yeah, big up Will Washington, because he is definitely someone that's put in work, online, podcast, all sorts, for a long time. So to kind of see
For
him kind
sure.
of get to this position is really something that those that want to kind of go into the actual business side of things, like they can aspire to. He's paved the road in it.
Yeah.
And I watched Grapsody, like obviously his previous show on Fightful.
Yeah.
This guy loves Hikaru Shida.
Shida.
And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Shida pops
He's
up
back.
on AEW Dynamite. So 100%, like I didn't know he had been announced or anything like that until like afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd watched the show and I went on Twitter to see
Yeah.
people's reactions as I do, and then I saw the graphic and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, then the penny dropped, because I know he
Yeah.
loves Shida, and Shida all of a sudden reemerged, which is great.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for her to do so in this situation.
Yeah.
So as we do, guys, big up everyone that's watching live. Let me take these comments. Big up Nabil.
Big up Nabil.
Big up the members. They got their little channel membership back. We're live on the membership again, guys. So yeah, join if you haven't joined already. Big up Hanafi. Nabil says MJF versus Darby versus Jungle Boy versus Sammy, Elite versus BCC, Wardlow versus Christian, FTR versus Lethal and Jarrett, Saraya versus Hater, The Acclaimed versus House of Black, Jay White versus Ricky Starks, Adam Cole versus Jericho, Cassidy versus Question Mark. That is a solid card.
That's a solid card. That's a card I'd be very happy with. I can't lie. Yeah.
Knowing AEW, it's not finished though. Maybe Nabil ran out of characters. there's definitely more matches.
It'll be Roderick Strong and someone. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how it's. But yeah, good. The card is shaping up nicely. Cool. All right. So as we do, we go into breaking down the show. We talk about MVP of the night, the best segment of the night, the worst segment of the night, and the match of the night. Those of you that are watching live, make sure you've hit the like button. And let's get this started. Starting off with the MVP of Dynamite. Do you want to start or should I, NK?
Yeah, you start.
Right. So my MVP of Dynamite of the show, I'm giving it to MJF this week. I don't know what to say that hasn't been said already. When you watch MJF, you're thinking like, this guy is excellent for his age, and at some point we have to stop kind of saying for his age.
For his age, yeah,
he's just excellent. Like, we can see he's in segments right now with his peers, with the people that are saying are going to be the ones to carry the company, alongside him. But you can see he's head and shoulders above them. Like it's crystal clear. Not to say them men are poor. Them men are very, very good. Like, it's cool. When we used to talk about football and people used to say like, Messi, Ronaldo on one level, and then whoever's third, people would mention like a Hazard or someone like that. Like these men are still wicked, but they're just not on the level.
They're not level.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just very, very apparent. He had a good segment with Sammy Guevara backstage. Again, selling the whole the car thing. I needed to lie down and be carrying AEW on my shoulders and all this kind of stuff. Even against, I think it was on Rampage, I don't know if you would have seen it, Ty Mello telling off Sammy for basically.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that.
Yeah. Like, even after that, I thought, Sammy, now your wife has told you stop being an idiot, and you went back to be an idiot with MJF. Like, it was just some funny stuff. And then obviously They came out, the role he played in the tag match as well. He just knows how to be that kind of nasty, dastardly, at the same time cowardly heel. Take bumps and sell for people. I just think he's just different level. And he's anything he does. We don't need to talk about the promo. We know when it comes to promos, he delivers. Like, I just think he's just very, very good, man. And this world title run, I know it's not to people's taste, as to we don't see him enough, he doesn't wrestle enough, and it's not maybe what we have come to know of what a Western world title reign may look like per se. But I think there's levels of I think there is definitely elements of him trying to show like Triple H's reign of terror within this, but like MJF can get his comeuppance as in Reign of Terror. Triple H never really got his comeuppance at any point.
Yeah.
He was just literally terrorizing people and getting away with it. So yeah,
and I feel like this. Sorry, bro. I feel like even though he doesn't wrestle a lot, he's on TV every week, and it's one of those things where it's like he doesn't feel like an absent champion. He always feels like a consistent presence throughout the show. Because I remember like a reign, like for example, maybe like Brock Lesnar's Universal title reign at one point where he had the title and he was off TV, like we didn't see him.
Yeah.
And MJF is constantly there, and he's constantly like doing things to put over their opponent as a heel does. Like, oh, this person can't beat me, and create investment in the person for them to actually face him. So I feel like, yeah, even though he doesn't wrestle that often, he's still what I've noticed with MJF as well. I noticed in the Danielson feud, like he won't wrestle. There'll be like a big towards the pay-per-view, he'll wrestle like one match. It may be, for example, the match against Takeshita and the Danielson feud, and then the tag team match here. He'll wrestle a match to show people that I can still wrestle. And then when it gets to the pay-per-view, that's when he's well rested and just go all guns blazing and wow the world. And then he won't wrestle again for a while. But yeah, MJF has been, I've been really enjoying this feud and his title, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. I'm on board. I'm very much on board now, because I felt like with the Danielson feud, it was kind of like there were missed opportunities and the feud wasn't the best. But I feel like this is the feud where I'm like, okay, like I have very little complaints, and you've been the best part of this feud by far. So yeah, big up MJF.
Yeah, with the Danielson feud, I enjoyed the feud, but I think in terms of, again, how we got there, it's just stuff we had seen already. In terms of how, typically MJF builds his feuds, jump through hoops, and then you can get to me and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I think it's maybe a part of us as fans, this trying to put to one side what we know, as in what we know is that Danielson is a premier wrestler. He is, as good as he is. So why couldn't Danielson really beat MJF? But yeah, he is just getting, he's very much in his stride now. I would say, not getting into his stride. He's very much in his stride, and I expect after this feud, he probably breaks off and has like a feud with one of the guys. Like maybe Jungle Boy or Darby, I'm expecting. Before he then, changes to whomsoever else outside on the roster. But yeah, for me this week, MJF has to get it as the man. MVP.
Yeah, my MVP of Dynamite is an unorthodox pick. It's not actually a wrestler, it's a commentator. It's Mr. Tony Schiavone.
Okay.
I found him, especially in that main event, and it links to MJF, his back on, like, his consistent hatred of MJF is exactly what I've been looking for in like a commentator. Like, I've always said, like, my favorite commentator is like JR. And you mentioned Triple H's Reign of Terror. JR every week would be berating Triple H, assassinating his character, saying this man is a terrible person. He's a champion. He doesn't deserve it. And what that does as an audience member, it makes me buy into the fact that, oh no, this is a despicable person. Because sometimes I hate when commentators are too congratulatory of heels, especially heels that cheat.
Yeah.
So Tony Schiavone is like, he said, I'm gonna put objectivity to the side and be, and every, like, throughout the show, because MJF appeared, but throughout every time MJF appeared, I don't care if this guy's my champion, he's a terrible person. I don't care about, and it's just like, it was so refreshing for me to hear that. And Tony Schiavone, like, his role is quite understated because he's not the play-by-play guy. He's not an Excalibur. He's not a Taz. He doesn't know every move in the book. But those little moments of just like emotion and human interaction and that really breaking things down from an emotional perspective, Tony Schiavone does really well. So yeah, like
You
I just found
stole.
Tony Schiavone.
Sorry, I was saying you stole the words out of my mouth. He's a human being.
Yeah,
Next
yeah,
to two people that are like wrestling encyclopedias, have wrestled,
yeah.
all of that kind of stuff, that have the practical experience. He is like the third man. He is the human being sitting next to them, and
Yeah,
away from what them men are doing, like you're rightly saying, just conveying real emotion
yeah,
into it. And yeah, I think we've spoken about this before, how like the likes of Michael Cole is like, he's here congratulating Roman Reigns
yeah,
and all of that kind of stuff, as opposed to, yeah, like, you know, we shouldn't have someone like this holding
yeah,
us by the balls effectively and have a reign over the company. Like, so yeah, that's a great pick for MVP. He's been very consistent, like you said, with MJF from the beginning, from the start.
yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so MGF and Tony Schiavone as the MVPs of Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next category, match of the night.
Okay.
For me, yeah, it was a very weird I guess, outlay we got in terms of the matches. I feel like we're usually leaving Dynamite talking about how great the matches were, and I
Yeah,
don't on this particular night we got that. We got, like I say,
yeah,
I think we might probably have the same match of the night. What's yours?
yeah. My match of the night is the opening match. It was Adam Cole, Bandido, and Roderick Strong versus Jericho Appreciation Society. Yeah, it was a really fun match. And obviously I was gassed to see Roderick Strong back in the ring, and his hot tag was
It was mad.
it is listen, like I said, Roderick Strong, out of like the Undisputed Era, like he's my favorite to watch in that ring. And then Bandido as well, like it's been, obviously Bandido's has his visa issues, but it's like raw, like these man just casually have like a talent like Bandido here. And you know, the one arm suplex spot always gets me. Like I thought it was a really just entertaining match. And then obviously I'll talk about the post match angle later, but like overall, I felt like that match was a really solid match.
Yeah, I agree. And again, they kind of turned to that man, Orange Cassidy, in regards to, you know, opening the show. It's like he's got that responsibility now to get the
Yeah.
crowd. Wasn't an international title defense, but you know, he was tagging with Bandido, Strong, and Adam Cole. And yeah, it was just a very good match. Made sense for the feud. Jericho was out there on commentary as well. Good to see all these men kind of get their things off. Like Roderick Strong that we talked about, what looked great. He's obviously Bandido. Cassidy brings the entertainment along with his style of wrestling, and Adam Cole, just, you could see progressively he's like, not to say he lost it, but he's just becoming more confident. It must be
Yeah.
hard to come back from, you know, serious head injury, a coma situation, or concussion, situation. So yeah, you can see that confidence is growing, and even just through his actions, the sale of trying to get up the ramp at one point during the match to get to Jericho, he was dragged back. Yeah, I think there was nothing in terms of matches that came close to this on the night. It was
Yeah.
just good entertainment and great way to start the show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see all of these guys. Obviously, Adam Cole's got a feud with Chris Jericho, but I want to see. Obviously, like it's easy to say I want to see when there's like there's like a 2 hour spot on on Dynamite, and it's like maybe 1 hour on Rampage. But like when I hope like Bandido gets utilized in something like prominent, maybe like doesn't have to be a title for now, but just I like seeing him on my TV on a weekly basis. So
Mm.
however that comes to pass, I just want to see more Bandido. So yeah.
It will be interesting to see. I mean, AEW's natural progression from ROH, he's already been ROH champion. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't want him to go back to ROH.
No.
But the field for AEW is just so stacked.
Yeah.
The TNT belt is there. If they get it off these two that they're playing flipping hot potato with, and then really make this belt something with the array of talent that they've got at that upper mid card level, like Bandido, like Roosh. There's other names there as well that just won't get a look in at the main title for now and should be here. Some of them 4 pillars, the Jungle Boys of this world, he should be in a TNT title picture, really. Like, yeah, they need to do something there and give these other guys something to do. I need to go back to this comment that Nabil put in here because I forgot I was gonna say this, but Nabil's luckily caught it. Tony Schiavone even said, "I hope he's not champion. He being MJF. I hope he's not champion at Wembley because he's the wrong person to represent the company overseas."
Yeah, see, this is the type of stuff that matters.
JR-esque. That comment is very JR-esque. It's warranted because you're now showing like this guy is just a dastardly guy that in it for himself.
Yeah, like he's the guy like who literally like in storyline held the owner for ransom, came back, and bastardized the title and like cheated against Danielson. Like like there's no reason why we should be cheering him like unless we're in Long Island. So that's it.
I still don't think they've done enough with him and Tony, and that I felt like they had something so special in their hands. I remember my jaw was on the ground when we were watching. What was that? All out? No.
But when he hit Tony,
when he came back with the phone call.
Oh yeah, for the phone call. Yeah,
my jaw was on the ground. I said, "This is excellent, bro."
Yeah, I just think, do you know what? I feel like TK should have got out of his shell and be like, I know you don't want to be an on-screen character, but for this was
the moment. Oh my god, that was excellent.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they can revisit it somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had the same match of the night. JAS versus Orange Cassidy, Bandido, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong. Let's move on to the best Dynamite segment. The best Dynamite segment. Yeah, like I was saying, I feel like this week was particularly strong for segments. What I'm gonna go with was the segment that actually followed the opening part, the opening shot. Adam Cole gets the win with the boom, as he now calls it, rolls out the ring straight all the way up to the announcer's table and just attacks Jericho. The curtain behind the announcer was falling was everything. That was everything.
Because it really looked like chaos.
You've stolen the words. That's it. And that's all pro wrestling ever needs to be. Like if you beat up Jericho on that stage and that thing doesn't fall, it's like, okay, cool. He's caught him. He beat him up in it. But that thing falling, you see the guardrail behind, you see the stairs leading down to Gorilla. And obviously those of us that have been watching the AEW All Access show, you now kind of understand the geography of that back, how the back works. Like, I just thought this is brilliant. Completely off the cuff. It's not necessarily that they planned for that curtain to fall, but it's just what you need to kind of really sell something and make it feel that bit more real. Obviously, he laying in the punches on him and saying, that he's disrespecting him because of what he's said about Britt and this, that, and the other, and wearing the t-shirt. The staff made their way up the stairs from the gorilla position area. Wrapped up, and Adam Cole took him down the stairs and everything like that. Jericho doing his ever comedic, like this is the stuff I kind of love about Jericho. Like, get him off me, like take him out of here. This kind of nonsense. The guy's nowhere near you at this point. Jericho obviously sold it really well. They cut back, I think, after maybe an advert or something. They cut back. Yeah, they showed obviously Excalibur, Shivani, and Taz just sitting there with no backdrop behind them, again to really kind of emphasize the chaos. Yeah, there were a lot more kind of meaningful segments and stuff. Like I said,
Yeah,
the show was full of really good segments.
yeah,
But for me, this took the cake just in terms of pushing
yeah,
their story along as well,
yeah, for sure.
and just the whole chaos of it all.
Even the little thing of like Adam, I think it was after the ad break, they showed obviously Adam Cole outside in the parking lot getting escorted,
Yeah,
Jericho's following him, and then Britt slapping Jericho in the
Jericho.
face. Like, I mean, she didn't get her get back, but she slapped him, which
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would have been annoyed if she just walked past him and like nothing happened. No, like slap him because he was even wearing he even wore
A
the Britt
t-shirt.
Baker shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. Like when Adam Cole ran up the ramp, I was like, yeah, this is the stuff I need. This is
yeah.
because I think we were very like we weren't fond of this segment last week, but I like the response. This is how you respond to that type of segment. So yeah, like I think the story's heating up. This is yeah, I feel like this is going to be something good. So yeah, that segment was definitely great for sure.
Yeah, it was very much all business. Like I've literally
Hmm.
just got the pin. I'm rolling out the ring. I ain't celebrating. I'm
Yeah.
going to catch my man that offended my
Hmm.
missus and all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah. I think I saw. I can't remember who said it. Or I saw something that people saying. Obviously, we're going towards Jericho versus Adam Cole at the pay per view. There'll
Hmm.
probably be some type of stipulation in the next week that if Adam Cole wants the match, he can't touch Jericho until the match or something
Something,
like that. Yeah, it's just something
something
like
like
that
that.
to kind of
Yeah.
prolong it a bit. So yeah, we'll see if they put something like that in place. We'll see how the JAS react and
Hmm.
stuff. But yeah, man, this was the best segment for me. What about yourself?
I have there's two in my mind. I'm gonna go for one. I'm gonna do honorable mention. Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett on the farm, on the chicken farm.
Ah, brilliant, brilliant.
That is all. That you know what that's why I wanted the Briscoes on TV.
Mm,
Because as much as like yeah, they're so like Mark Briscoe is hilarious. And this whole like Jeff, I can't like I said, I think we were all on the same page when we heard Jeff Jarrett sign for AEW. It's like, why do AEW need Jeff Jarrett? Nah, he's
world
just
class.
yeah. And that segment was hilarious. But for me, my segment of that, it just popped me. House of Black, and the obviously given
The
like an
open
an open
house.
challenge and open house. And the person that stood out to me the most is Julia Hart.
I've been saying
She
this.
I'm invested. Do you know is when she was with Varsity Blondes, it was kind of like okay, she was there. And when she first came to House of Black, like there were some aesthetic issues. I think it didn't fit.
Mm.
But like I just like her demeanor with them. I like her as the mouthpiece for them. And when she was talking, I was like, there's a bit of confidence in her. And I just feel like and I've been wondering as well, where are House of Black? I've missed them. And then them doing the whole open challenge thing for the trios belts makes sense. Them having their own stipulations where it's no rope breaks, 20,
20
20-second
second.
count,
Mm.
20-second count out. I just liked the whole presentation of the House of Black in that vignette. I love their vignettes anyway. Um, but yeah, I just that segment, I don't know, like when I left Dynamite, even though it was just like announcing an open challenge, it stuck with me. I was like, yeah, like House of Black. I'm excited to see them again. And yeah, Julia Hart, like obviously she's still developing in the ring, but like I want to see more of her, Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, Jade's got the TBS title, but I don't know. I'm not saying have Julia Hart beat Jade Cargill, but
Mm. Yeah,
TBS maybe in her future, like who knows? Like,
I mean, it depends, especially if they want to do the thing where everyone's got a belt. If it depends how long they
yeah,
plan to keep the title on Jade, who is gonna beat Jade? Because yeah, I don't think Julia Hart should beat Jade, but
no,
Julia Hart could beat the face that beats Jade, the baby face that beats Jade. So yeah, I've been watching Rampage over the last 3-4 weeks, probably. She's had a little feud there with MJ, still kind of ongoing. Uh, but you can see there's a confidence about Julia Hart now. Like she's she's beginning to know herself, know the character and everything like that, understand what she can bring to these guys. Maybe what their strengths are is more so stuff within the ring. And she can be like that kind of evil master or spokesman amongst them, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing some good stuff. And I think this stipulation of the open house stuff is interesting. I'm trying to think what kind of stipulations people would use to because it's the opponent gets to think of the stipulation that could cause a
Yeah.
DQ. So like I can think like the opponent can stop the House of Black from using mist or stop what's
Yeah.
this Black from using mist.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you think particular that the opponent would want to do to stop particularly the House of Black, as opposed to maybe just something generic like, oh, I could use weapons and you can't, or something?
I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea. But it does, I have no idea, because it's an interesting because they're putting the onus on the opponent's hands.
Yeah.
So, and it's weird for a heel team to do that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting at the same time. I don't know. Because all I'm thinking is just like, oh, stipulation matches. Like maybe it might be a thing of like a tornado match where like the House of Black have to tag out, but like we can all
have a
three of us
team.
can be in the ring. But yeah, you man have to tag in and out. I don't know, like, but it's interesting, and I feel like it allows the trios belt to have innovative matches and be creative, and we won't question it because like, oh, it's just a part of the stipulation. So yeah, like it's interesting. I'm interested to see where they go from here. I was a bit bummed though that because obviously they had like the battle royal, which I'm assuming they didn't say number one contender, but the battle royal was filled with but then the thing is they had two teams that I thought okay would be good. That Dark Order, which got eliminated. Then you had Vikingo, Penta, and Phoenix. And I'm thinking that it's there. It make like
Line it up.
why would you have Vikingo there and not? And then they give us the Acclaimed, which is like I pray that's not the pay-per-view match. I pray this match is a Dynamite match, and then they give us something else on the pay-per-view. Like I like the Acclaimed, but the problem is if they didn't tease Vikingo and the Lucha Brothers, I wouldn't be angry. But I want to see more Vikingo. And Vikingo with Buddy Murphy, Malachi Black. Come on, man. Come on. Why would you show me something if I can't have it?
Bro. I'm gonna come back to this because spoiler alert, this is my worst segment of the night in regards to the Battle Royal and stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say before we finish up on the best segment, like I said, there's a lot of good segments here. I felt, just to talk about other good segments, I felt the women's segment was particularly good. I was confused as hell, probably like the rest, everyone else was, when Shida came out and hugged Paige, or Saraya, sorry. I was thinking, she's not an outcast. What the hell? Then, they've done a good job on commentary. They told a bit of a story how, they were mates until Saraya chose Tony Storm or whatever the case is. So I thought, okay. And then obviously it was just all a ruse. It was all fake. Then the distraction came from Hater and Baker, and Shida is on their side, sort of thing. Cleared house with the kendo stick and that. So I thought that was good. Like the story, I'm not overly invested in the story. I just felt the segment itself was decent. I felt the BCC, the elite stuff, obviously the way that was filmed outside of the ring, I think was brilliant. We had like a straight face, no messing Kenny Omega. Don Callis was spitting in his promo, like honestly. And
I
then
love
of
Don
course,
Callis, man.
yeah, he's so cold. We had the BCC one, which Danielson is excellent, man. Like Danielson was just saying, like, listen, like we're out here. You guys only care about yourself. We're trying to make people better. We're trying to make professional wrestlers. We're trying to make AEW the best place for professional wrestlers in the world. Like, what's his face? I want Wheeler Yuta to be better than me. Like, I want all of these guys to be better than me, and really selling that fact. Yeah, I just thought obviously it wasn't one segment, but those two little recorded bits as well was excellent. You mentioned already the Jeff Jarrett on the farm stuff with Mark Briscoe, which I just thought was just some great stuff as well. So yeah, man, strong segments throughout this show.
For sure.
But yeah, let's get on to the worst Dynamite segment. And I couldn't really think of like a poor segment. I forgot to mention as well in that best segment, like I said, I think at the beginning, MJF at the end coming into the dressing room and trying to interrupt Jungle Boy as well. I thought that was
that was
class.
a good segment.
Yeah. Nabil says here, Danielson throwing shade on Bret Hart was great. Yeah, what you say, the slogan, that the slogan is selfish. You should look to make people better. The best there was, best ever will be, etc., etc. Yeah. So back to this. My worst segment of the night. Again, I'm going to cheat and say it was seeing this battle royal take place. Right now, they've made us invested with the trios title. Even, from day one, there was controversy with this trios title. They waited. Omega came back. Omega and the Bucks won it. They lost the title because of misdemeanor, misbehavior. They came back, done the 7-match thing with Death Triangle. Death Triangle, without champions at the time, then eventually dropped it to the Elite. The Elite had a decent run with it, dropped it to House of Black, which we were all for. House of Black have been off TV for a minute. They've just kind of re-emerged with the open house thing that we discussed earlier. Like you rightly said, they then said they're having this battle royal. Effectively, no reason, no stipulation for the battle royal. Even when, they said this open house thing, they could have at least said, the first challengers for the open house would come from this battle royal. That would have made sense. But what really bummed me out was just seeing the field for this. So, no disrespect, but Kip Sabian and what's that man called? Blade and Butcher get into the latter stages of this as well. I was just thinking,
crazy.
Come on. Like, Dark Order, was so good just a matter of weeks ago when they were kind of within this BCC Elite story. Just kind of faded to obscurity again. Vikingo and the Lucha Bros, like you would have said, should have been nailed on. Like, Vikingo and the Lucha Bros versus House of Black, it writes itself. Have that match at the pay-per-view or whatever the case is. You've opted not to do that. Powerhouse Hobbs, what a fall from grace, tagging with QT and Aaron Solo. Bro, really?
Nasty.
Oh my God, I was thinking, what are you, man, doing? And
then you got to eliminate like a joke, man, as well.
Yeah, it's literally he overran and threw himself over the top rope. And I think by the time whoever it was went to kind of action that they threw him over, he was already flying through the air. He was already gone. I said, man, this guy's going outside. And then the Acclaimed. And you know what? Like you said, I do like the Acclaimed, but I feel like we may just start getting into a position and putting the Acclaimed into a position where they're being overpushed here.
Overdoing it.
You've taken the tag team titles off them and they're still kind of front and center, which at times, we do complain about that. People drop a belt and then that's it. They're gone. So I don't mind them still being in and around things, but I just feel, especially with the trios title, especially as we're getting towards a pay-per-view, like you said, we don't know whether this is going to be the pay-per-view match, the Acclaimed versus House of Black. I would much rather it just be a Dynamite match, and then pay-per-view could be, someone else like the Lucha Bros, Vikingo, or whatever. But yeah, I just feel a bit that they are doing a lot with the Acclaimed without a lot of real ability being on show. Like it's definitely more entertainment wise than thing, which is okay at times. But yeah, this seems to be a consistent push. Like we're putting the Acclaimed into places now rather than it being like a natural kind of thing.
Even another team that I thought, Mogul Embassy.
Yeah,
they easily could have slotted in right here. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
the Mogul Embassy have the 3-way titles on ROH. So
yeah,
why wouldn't they have been
you
involved here?
just put Swerve instead of someone else, and then it'll be fine. You could have you could have used Roosh and Janistico, and then maybe find a third person. Who knows? But like,
What's
I
his
feel like,
face? Pellegrino, Vance.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, so for me, it's just like this match wasn't like, and the thing is, they have enough to make up a solid trios division. They have it there. Like, I see, even not even just makeshift teams, but the established teams to make up like solid trios division. But it's like, when I saw Butcher and the Blade and Kip Sabian, I said, how did we get here? Like, these man ain't won a match in years. No, literal years. Like, they won a match in years.
Don't win.
So they don't win. So it's like, so when I'm seeing the final four of like I was thinking, like, nah, you've missed the trick. Like, this better be a Dynamite match. Like, if this is a Dynamite match, then fine. But if this is the pay-per-view match, like, I understand pushing and this is the thing with Tony Khan, that's a blessing and a curse. When he likes something, he will push it to the moon. We've seen it with Wardlow. Obviously, the positive side of things is people like MJF and Darby. He's believing them from the beginning. Look at where they are. The Acclaimed got here on merit. They got super over. They're deserved. But it's one of those things, not necessarily call them off, but put them in something else. Like, I know they already did a feud with Jeff Jarrett, but like, you see the type of stuff FTR are doing with Jeff Jarrett, like comedic stuff. Put them in that. Put them in some light-hearted, heartwarming stuff. I have no problem with that. But then these trios titles, they don't need to be in another title picture. Like, these trios, this trio's opportunity can be given to another team. And we know they probably won't beat House of Black, but it'll just be another opportunity for a team to showcase themselves. Like, at the end of the day, they claim to have been showcased. I don't see them going up another level and becoming, one of the greatest trios teams of all time. I don't see it. And it's no disrespect, but I just don't see it in them. So, like, why not utilize them to their strengths and just have them be an entertaining act, which isn't a problem.
Yeah. I think that's where we need to kind of phase them out to. Maybe they're still on. Obviously, they're not champions anymore, but maybe they're still on some type of high level for AEW, doing well in merch and other areas like that. And that's why there's the constant use to kind of still keep them on TV and stuff, which I get. But like you're rightly saying, there could be other places for them, more so than in these kind of more precious positions, where especially in a battle royal that's going to maybe move towards a trios match, which is going to be a banger badizio, like you won't put them into this position, like, so yeah, we'll see how
pay-per-view. Pay-per-view, AEW pay-per-views is we want banger badizio. That's what we want in the pay-per-views. Like, that's what we want, especially the trios titles. That's what the trios titles was for.
Yeah.
But like, ultra banger badizio, you can experiment with the tag titles like you did with the Guns, but the trios, please, we know what we want.
Yeah,
we know what we want.
It's facts. Big up, bro. Knowledge is correcting me. Pellegroso. That's Preston Vance. Yeah, I said Pellegrino. But yeah. Yeah, for me, this was, and I guess that's a credit. I've had to kind of look outside of a segment. Like I said, I don't really think that was a poor segment on the show. This was just for me. When I was seeing the entrances, I think they even cut to like picture in picture. And I often, switch off when it's picture in picture because there's no commentary or anything like that coming through. But I was just watching and seeing who's coming into this battle royal. And when I saw Powerhouse Hobbs with QT and Aaron Solo, just my heart just
I despise that faction so much. Like, I despise that faction.
Like
that might be one of my least favorite. Like, it's such a nonsensical faction. And the thing is Do you know what it is? I know, like, we've had debates about like the baddies being a horrible fact. This is worse than the baddies, and I'll tell you why. Because at least Jade's stock didn't drop from the baddies. Like Jade's stock
Yeah,
remained the same. Everyone else is, but these men are actively pulling down Will Hobbs' stock.
yeah,
They're dragging it through the mud. I mean, the booking is too, but like, ooh, this was not a good idea.
yeah.
This was not a good idea. You're better off putting him with Stokely Hathaway at this point.
Facts. Having QT help him win the TNT title, and obviously QT was saying that, you know, this was me repaying you back like I told you I would, blah blah blah. That's one thing. Then when QT tried to continue tagging along, Hobbs should have stuck him up there and been like, "No,
We're
I
not
don't need
boys.
you. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
you've done what you said you're gonna do. We're not boys no more. Allow it. You know, put man through a table if he kept trying it or whatever, kept begging." Obviously, we saw what's happened since then. He's lost the title. Last week, he said he's got a plan B that's going to help him regain the title. Now he's in a bloody trios with them, man, getting thrown out, dashed out, just no chance, just looking like a shadow of the man that, you know, entered that three-way match with Wardlow and Samoa Joe that was going up against Samoa Joe for these titles. And it's it's so sad to see, like, they
So
have got
jolting.
no plan. Like, it's just no plan for him, really. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame. Did you have a worst segment of the week of the show?
No, I think it's the battle royal, but for the sake of conversation, the Juice Robinson and Ricky Starks match didn't do much for me. Why hasn't Jay White cut a promo yet?
Like a
He
live
hasn't cut.
mic. Yeah. I don't know.
He hasn't cut. This guy is one of the best promos in wrestling. Let him cook. But it's not even to say, I was going to say, well, he doesn't have much material to work with. So let him cook. Let him introduce himself properly. Do the whole, I'm the catalyst of AEW thing again. Let him have a live mic promo in that. That's one thing I feel like here. And I think there was a funny skit on BTE. Where I think the Bucks and Kenny were talking about they were like, oh, Kenny's got promo time about last. Kenny's got promo time. Only MJF gets promo time in his company. The only person that gets a live mic is CM Punk or MJF. Everyone else at best gets like a chance to talk in a brawl or backstage segment. Nobody comes out spotlight in the ring with a mic. And I understand AEW don't want to do that every week because trust me, I'd get bored if it was every week. But just introduce, and then when it comes to feud time, you can do back and forth promo. But I just want one. I'm not saying do a Monday Night Raw Authority where you come out every week on a Monday and on a Wednesday and cut a 20-minute promo. Just a young 3 minutes. Just 3 uninterrupted minutes, or better yet, sit down interview with JR. Other than that, because I remember when obviously it's CM Punk, it's Phillip Brooks, we understand. When CM Punk came to AEW, my man obviously got the like 20-minute promo of Rampage, but obviously it's 7 years, it's CM Punk.
Yeah.
The next week, the backstage the sit down interview with JR. The week after that, it was like 4 straight weeks.
CM Punk is
hey
here.
guys,
CM Punk with the live mic. CM Punk to open Dynamite.
do you know what I'm
Everything.
saying? And and I understand it's CM Punk, but
Yeah.
just the 20 minutes you allotted to CM Punk every week, just a lot 2 to Jay White, just 2, and I'll be happy.
I do think it's coming. Like you're saying, you know, I think we'd all probably agree that his, you know, promo is his strong suit out of everything. He's a great wrestler, all that kind of stuff, but promo is his strong suit. And it is weird that up till now they haven't given him that opportunity yet. But I feel like with this match we got this week with Juice and Ricky Starks, we've now closed that chapter of this, because this is where it started, Juice Robinson and Ricky. And now as we get closer to the pay-per-view, it will turn into Jay White versus Ricky, and we'll see these two go at it you know,
For sure.
which
Hopefully
is,
so, man.
yeah, we got about 3 weeks or so. So yeah, we should definitely be seeing that probably by next week, to be honest. Either
Yes.
Ricky or Jay White coming out and really declaring war on the other. So yeah, but yeah, it is weird that they haven't let a man of this like Adam Cole is another one that you never mentioned, but Adam Cole's another one that they give a live mic to.
Yeah.
He came back, he got in the ring, you know, he's probably cut maybe about outside of his original I'm coming back one, maybe at least had another 2 to 3 opportunities to cut live
Yeah.
in the ring, that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, they need to kind of give Jay White, you know, let their best talkers do that. I'm sure it's not a thing like you're saying. This makes AEW different. Not everyone wants to hear everyone speak and be given that opportunity, but yo,
Yeah.
guys that are more than able to
That are
do,
equipped. Yeah.
guys that are equipped, give them the tools. Like,
Mm.
yeah, put a mic in that man's hand. Nabil says here that Jay White is gonna sell out Wembley.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna cook. I think Wembley's August. That's what four-ish
Yeah.
months away or so now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They need to let him cook until then.
I can't lie. Post Double or Nothing is a very hot season for AEW because they've got literally Forbidden Door in June, and then obviously they'll have July to like rest, and then
Yeah,
August all in, August all out.
yeah.
So it's gonna be like a very
It's stacked.
stacked period for AEW. It's always like we always say like WrestleMania seasons from like beginning of the year to WrestleMania, and then AEW seasons like for me Double or Nothing to all out.
Yeah,
That's like AEW season.
yeah. It's true. It's funny the way that's kind of worked out still.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. They've got time to get him,
Mhm.
but yeah, they need to start because I think people want to start seeing that payback of investment. We just want to see him. We just want to see him do what we know he can do. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Jay White's one of the best in the world, man. So we want to see it. We definitely want to see what he can do.
and now if he says, "I need to hear him speak," yeah, man, it's coming. I think it's definitely coming. Right. So I think that's everything that we wanted to talk about on the show. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss in regards to this show, or?
Obviously, All In, man. The ticket sales, man. The initial ticket sales for now numbers are like around 45, 46,000. Yeah, obviously I had about issues getting the tickets, but we got there in the end. But but if I speak, I'm in trouble about these services. But that one is not an AW issue. It's a master
Yeah,
issue. It's a ticket master issue. But just the like when the pre-sale happened, just going on social media and seeing like everyone cop their tickets and everyone kind of show euphoria for like, oh my god, like I'm going AW. It's felt big because obviously you man went WrestleMania, but in the UK we haven't had that big show in London. We've had obviously Clash of the Castle, but it's weird. It was interesting to see just like feel the energy around like a big wrestling event coming. Like I've never
yeah.
experienced this in it. Like I'm sure people in the States are used to this.
Normal to
Like
them. Yeah,
normal to them. A pay-per-views in town. We don't get pay-per-views in town.
yeah.
And especially a pay-per-view of this magnitude, this Wembley Stadium, like so just to like see like everyone talking, oh my god, did you get a ticket? Did you get a ticket? Like, and for them to like kind of, I remember like early on, like even like early January, me and you like had several conversations after podcast sessions. What do you think AW can do? Craven Cottage, I don't know. I don't know. O2 Arena, I don't know. It's 20K a lot. I think their ceiling is this. And I remember vividly saying to you one time, I think maximum they'll do about 40,000. I remember vividly said they did that day too. And the
Yeah,
show's not even out yet. And it's like it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm not necessarily the person to like count AW's pockets, but it's like for me, I'm looking at it as a fan, it's like raw. I'm gonna be in an arena with definitely at minimum, if they sell no tickets from Friday, at minimum 45,000 AEW fans. I can't believe it didn't exist 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
They have done extremely well. Like they have done fantastically well. Like, and we know it's not just Londoners coming, it's people coming from all over the country, there's people coming from Europe, there's people coming from America to see this. Like, this is an event like no other that they've done. Like, we're literally going to be in the building as history is being written. And if they never return to Wembley again, touch wood, I want them to come. I want this to be a yearly thing. But if they never return to Wembley again, then who knows the next time they're going to do a show of this size, of this capacity. Like, obviously it'll give them a lot of encouragement to, but we're literally being in there, and history is going to be written as we're watching that show. And all the talk for the next few months is going to be who is turning up on that show. Once the kind of the initial talk of the ticket sales has happened, obviously, like you said, general sale is still to come out as of tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, tomorrow.
The talk will now turn into who are we getting? The fright of anytime you see someone sell an ankle injury or sell something, you're gonna think, they're not gonna be all in. Like, that's what it's going to become over the next few months. But like you said, the excitement is real, it's palpable. Like this, I felt like it was Christmas when I just saw the timeline the other day. I thought, this is what it should be. Like, people here defending companies and this, that, and then, like, you should be excited to be able to go to shows and all of that kind of stuff. And no one should take for granted, like, what it is to kind of partake in wrestling. Like, none of us own this. No, there should be no gatekeepers here. Come to a wrestling show and just enjoy yourself in it, like have fun, like taking the atmosphere and all of that kind of stuff. And that's literally what it was. It was almost as if like everyone on the timeline, just a 10-year-old kid that had just got a present for Christmas or something like that. And I couldn't believe it. Like, even though you went on Ticketmaster, you struggled, you put your own card number in there and everything, like, and then it was still oh my God, I'm actually going to this.
Yeah, I'm actually going.
Like, it was incredible. I can't wait. It should be a lot of fun. And I know I can't help but think, obviously, WWE are doing Money in the Bank in July, and that's what maybe 25,000 or so in the O2. And it's like, obviously, for me, a part of these lot must have been like, okay, let's try beat them lot.
For sure.
And then obviously put on our own show. But having the gall to go for 90,000 Wembley, like you said, 45,000 in the first 2 days. Tomorrow, who knows? That'll give a really good indication of how many tickets they will probably go on to sell and whatever the case is.
For sure.
Yeah, they've done a great job, man.
And it's like all the arenas I predicted them to do, like, let's say like an O2, they've sold, like, if they, let's say, did the O2, they would have sold it out within the first day. If they'd done a Craven Cottage, would have sold it out within the first day.
First couple hours, it wouldn't have been busted.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, just to say, oh yeah, I'm going to Wembley to watch wrestling is crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's like,
foreign.
I'm saying, like, I'm going to Wembley to watch wrestling, like, and Wembley Stadium. Like, for those of you who ain't been Wembley Stadium, like, it's a glorious stadium. Like, that walk up, that walk
Wembley
up,
way,
that walk up to the stadium, and I can just imagine like that part being packed like it's a football match, and there's people just walking up in different AEW shirts, and it's like raw. Like, it's gonna be, and even a beautiful thing about like wrestling and the wrestling community is that I saw bare mutuals. I didn't even know we're British. I was like, oh, you're British? Yeah, I'm going. I was like, raw. Like, so I'm proper excited, man. Like, this is like my most anticipated event of the year, like, by far. Yeah.
I'm very proud for them. I'm very, very proud. Like, we were talking about all these other kind of smaller stadiums, and God knows how, the feeling right now could have been so different if it was a 25,000 Craven Cottage or 25,000 O2 or something like that. And we didn't get our tickets because it's 25,000 people only. And we could have been here cussing. Like, you see what I mean? We could have been here cussing, could have been here frustrated. They took the leap of faith like we were all saying that, they should definitely be doing much bigger venue because people will come. And yeah, the faith has been paid off, because even them, if they sold out 25K in like an hour, they would have been vexed.
Yeah,
Deep down, they would have, like, yes, it's a sellout, but you probably would have been vexed thinking,
because there's more money to be made.
Yeah, we could have pushed it. He said there was 4.5 million was made
Yeah,
the first day
4.5
in
mil.
that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was ridiculous. Like, come on, like, back yourself, innit? Like, you like
Man said the t-shirt company.
bro, back yourself. You have to back yourself, man. They've done very, very well. Yeah, but I guess next week we can kind of get a better gauge of where we are with all of that once the general sale happens as well. But yeah, man, we move closer and closer. Double or Nothing is next on the calendar. And that show, as Nabil kindly earlier stated what he believes that the card will be, it's looking like a good show. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely enjoying this pass to the younger guard. Them more opportunity.
I like it.
It's something good. I just want to see Jamie Hayter with something to do, because I say, this thing, I don't mind it, but let's not forget who our AEW Women's World Champion is.
After Double or Nothing, because I think they're gearing up for Jamie Hayter versus Saraya. After Double or Nothing, give her something good at Forbidden Door, and then when she comes home, when she comes to the England, give her something good as well.
Yeah,
those are the two where, cool. Double or Nothing, I'm not happy about it, but you know what? Finish the storyline. Then Forbidden Door, and especially All In, the British talent, give them something. And and Pac, I want to see his face as well. Newcastle's
that
not far.
guy, bro. I don't know if he's got VC issues again. Come to work, bro. Like,
come to work.
When Wembley happens, he's gonna be telling TK it's too far. I can't make it.
You see National Road, they bumped up the train prices. My rail card expired, I can't even come.
Fam, he needs the pattern. I don't know, man. But yeah. Cool, guys, that is this week's episode. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new here. Again, channel memberships are back up. So if you're not a member, if you want to become a member, hit the join button. There's a lot of kind of new and exclusive stuff, and you get exclusive first looks at new videos and things we're working on. Big up everyone that's a member already. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, NK, any last words before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Hopefully I get to see some of the guys watching at All In, man. Hopefully I get to see some of you, man. Come link the man them.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Maybe we do like a little pre-drink or something, pre-gaming as they call it in the States, before we go into Wembley with the members. That would be cool.
And also for the people that are traveling, you might want to stay to the day after, because there's carnival the day after as well. So if you like partying, there's another incentive to stay in London. Carnival's the next day.
Enjoyment.
All
right, guys. Appreciate you guys for logging in. Same time next week. We'll see you later.